Well, it might do you well to see it then. It's 2:00. We'll call the meeting to order. Deborah, roll call, please.
Certainly. Walker.
Here.
Bentley is excused. Bollinger. Dowling.
Here.
Color.
Here.
Register. Here. And Shaw. Here.
The report from September 22nd. Any revisions, comments? Seeing none, they're approved as submitted. Member forum. Do we have any speakers today?
There are no in-person speakers and there are no Zoom speakers. That concludes the member forum.
Okay, there is no chair's report. And so we'll move right on to rossmore.com redesign. Ann?
Alrighty. We've got a lot of ground to cover, so we're gonna dive right in. All right. So first I want to walk through the timetable. We are in what's called the intense phase. There's 8 weeks of a lot of work, but really good deliverables. So we started by surveying the residents, essentially asking them why did they move to Rossmore. We got 820 survey responses, which was pretty good.
Pretty good.
I did get yelled at for sending out the survey at 9 o'clock in the morning. One resident said that was too early, so I'll start sending nixels at 10. One of the things that we're doing, it's called wireframe. It's kind of like if you were building a house, it's like putting up the wood frame structure of the house. That's the first phase that you do. So we dismantled rossmore.com and put up the new template for what will be the pages in the menu. And so currently the new site will have 45 pages, which is pretty good number. Javier and I were thinking more like 40, so we're seeing if we can whittle it down just a little bit. And the other thing that we made a decision on, usually you design a site and then you do all of the copywriting for it, but because this is an entirely brand new site, if we waited and did all of the copywriting at the end, I would be writing everything in a 2-week period, which would probably kill me. So we're gonna design pages and write as we go. So I think that will help us to stay on track with our timeline. Once we get to week 8, we will shift from our planning stage and start moving in our production and design phase. Week 8 will hit in the middle of November, so we're getting very close. Right now, we are just slightly off of our timeline, and the reason is we were supposed to select our homepage last Friday, but I asked them to wait because I would like you guys to help us select the homepage.
Aren't you sweet?
Yes. So we're not far off, and we'll make up for that very easily because we're only off by a couple of days. One of the things that we did from the survey results was we created 3 user personas so that we could have an idea of who our target audience is. So one of them would be a primary resident who is an independent decision maker. We do have a lot of folks who move in who are single. And then we also have a couple. So you're talking joint decision makers. So these would be 2 people that you have to attract and make sure that you are addressing the needs of both of them. And then you have an adult child who is a decision influencer. So as we're building out the website, we want to make sure that we're hitting all 3 of these user personas. So the website that we're building is for all 3 of these target audiences.
And Ann, we're not looking at a finished product.
No,
we're
we are
looking
not.
at examples.
Yes, we're not looking at a finished product, except when we get to the concepts, those are essentially what the concept of the home pages will be. They do not have our videos. Well, they do to a degree, but they don't have our finished videos. They do not have our finished photos. They don't have all of the copywriting. But what you're going to be looking at is the theme, the colors, the design structure.
So these made up people, is that part, those are gonna be on the website?
Not necessarily, no. But it gives you the feel of what we're going for, right? So we would be using real Rossmore residents, but we would be recreating that sort of feel. For example, when we get there, you'll see number 1, very bright, what we call fun and energetic. Number 3 is a much more warm tone. It's more sort of your resort feel. So what you're actually deciding today is what you want in terms of that, the warmth, the feel, the tone. That's what we're looking for, as well as the design structure. So we'll get there in a moment. This is the only part of the wireframe that I'm showing you, just so that you kind of get an understanding of what the website is built all around. The user journey is all about getting our users to the visit and buy. Everything at the bottom of every single web page is, are you ready to make that move? Is it time to connect with a real estate agent, to come explore the community, to decide that you want to own in Rossmore? So this is what the whole entire website is all about. And every page as you go down is really about informing them about what Rossmore is all about, trying to engage them and get them really interested in coming here, in being a part of our community. So before we get to the homepage concepts, I just want to talk a little bit about what we're trying to achieve today. So the entire website really, it sets the stage when you get to that homepage. It's your tone, it's your feel, it's what you want your users to come away as they're going through the website. It all starts on that homepage. What design style do you prefer? You're going to see the real difference as you look at the concepts. What visual concepts do you like the most? And one of the things with the visual concepts, because Javier and I, as we looked through, I was like, I really like that testimonial, but I prefer this style. And it is easy to mix and match certain things. What you can't mix and match, though, is the tone. So you wouldn't have a bright tone in one part and then drag over the warm part. You don't want to mix the colors and the tone and feel. But you can mix sort of the concepts when it comes to the content. And I'll show you as we go through them. One more thing, we have to make the decision today, otherwise our whole timeline is off. So if no pressure at all, but if you guys don't make the decision, then you're leaving the decision up to Javier and I. So keep that in mind as we're going through this. All right, so I'm gonna back out for just a second because I actually want to see, I showed you guys PDFs, but what I'd like to do is actually have you guys see the real website.
Oh, even better.
That's even better.
Yeah, I think so too. All right. So
I
I'm
think
gonna
I've
share
seen 6 people smiling in a row. Oh,
All right, we're gonna start with the first one.
Can you see?
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So I have a question. What are the actual photographs going to be the ones? So the tone, does that include the photograph or the photograph is
No.
also something that can be
So
swapped out?
the photographs will be swapped out, but this is the tone. So what we would do is this is you're going to get smiling, happy people. That is going to be the photograph, but they're going to be our people. We will find smiling, happy people kind of all in a row. This is the type of photo we will have. It'll be a Rossmore setting, but it will be our people. And Live and Belong is what you're going to get when you come onto. A vibrant, low-maintenance lifestyle designed for those 55 and better, surrounded by nature, community, and opportunity. That is what we're working with. They have developed that based on our mission and our vision statements. That doesn't mean that we can't still work and tweak with things. We absolutely can, but a lot of what they have built is built around our mission and our vision statements.
So I just a
Go
small
ahead.
question. To me, the second line, the print is too small.
Needs a bigger font.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Bigger?
Javier and I jumped on
Heavier,
that too.
whatever.
Absolutely. Yep. Go ahead, Kevin.
What do we mean by opportunity? Sort of like nature, community, and opportunity.
Whatever you want it to be.
Exactly.
It's
Nebulous.
the opportunity to think about opportunities.
Okay.
I think surrounded by nature and community would be good. I don't know what opportunity means.
I kind of
In
questioned
terms of
that too. I
Rossmore.
thought,
In terms of
kind of
Rossmore.
a vague
It seems like that
So,
was a short.
Here's what I'd like to
part of
ask. Before we pick apart, let's go through all three concepts.
Good idea.
Pick the one we want. Otherwise, we could be picking apart one you're all gonna toss out anyway. Okay. So keep in mind as we're going through, there are three very different menu structures. So pay attention to the menu structure as well. That's a mix and match thing, but we want to make sure that we're looking at that as well. So the Find Home at Rossmore, that's a feature that will continue. You'll see through all the three different concepts. So as you scroll through, again, they're emphasizing what the community is all about. This here is our video. It's hard to see it on the screen because we don't have the best Wi-Fi in here, so
Zoom,
yeah.
Zoom.
it's a lot better in real life.
Yeah, it's a good flyer.
Again, don't get fixated on the photo. That will be a Rossmore photo. But emphasizing upfront what makes us different. This will be an aerial shot so that you really see what Rossmore looks like from up above. And you can't see with the arrows, but the arrows will swipe through and you will be seeing different photos of Rossmore when you're swiping through.
Okay.
Each one of these will highlight what a co-op looks like, what a condo looks like, what the Waterford looks like, and what one of the single family homes looks like. So we've been putting that out front and center on our website. This is our opportunity to really key in on our amenities and services, going with the tiled approach. You'll see the tiles throughout because that was something that the marketing task force said they liked, so we asked that that be built in everything. This is the Welcome to Rossmore video that currently exists on our website, so this is the one that will be here. The video you saw up above is the video that the media team that was here last week is working on. It's a shorter 30 to 45 second quick aerial view of Rossmore.
So Ann, this is how long?
This one here is the one that's currently on the site at 6.5 minutes. That's your Welcome to Rossmore one.
Long one.
And then our testimonials, which would be a mix of videos and just quick statements. One of the things that we have found looking at different senior communities is that not every senior wants to open and look at a video. Some of them just want to read them. So that's why with this particular one, you're seeing a mix of both videos and just statements. And then again, like I said, this is what it would really look like, that ready to move. Instead of just being the call to action, instead of just being the wireframe, this is what the wireframe would look like once it's on the website. Featured real estate partners. This is a new one for us. We would actually be helping them to find the real estate partners. We've never done this before. This would be brand new. I have not run this past the board yet, so this is going to be new. They have not signed off on this yet.
And expensive.
Yeah, how much?
Has not been discussed. It's coming.
I mean, when you think about it,
Yeah.
It's coming.
and how is it coming?
It will come in executive session
Okay,
very soon.
but
in
we've
December.
looked
Yes.
around to see, yeah, okay.
Yes.
And are these the FAQs that we
Yes.
worked on? Okay.
So the frequently asked questions will be right here on some of them, not all of them.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
can click through to get to the full library. Do you still have a question? There's a form to fill out. It'll submit and come to my staff. There will be a happy people video. This again will not be these people, will be our people.
You still have a question? I would like to learn more.
Again,
Just, I'm a text person, anyway.
and then the footer.
Nice.
Okay, so this is concept number one. Javier and I called this the fun concept, because that's what, again, the happy smiling people, the fun one. Okay, number two. Javier calls this in your face. I call it boxy. Everything with this is a lot more square. You'll see the harder edges around all of everything from the video to the tabs. So up here, again, looking at the menu structure, a little bit darker, white on dark. These people, again, we would do arms in the air, Rossmore residents against a Rossmore background. They've inset the video with this one. So again, this would be the aerial view one that our media team is working on. And then as you go down bigger, a little bit bigger on the photos, welcome to Rossmore videos, a little bit smaller on this one compared to the last one. What makes us different, similar to the last one in terms of little icons. And now we get into the big photos. Slightly different concept, again, a little harder on the edges with the photos for this one, but same deal with accenting the homes. And when you hover over with this one, that's where you get the text to pop up so you can see what you're looking at. And here's their testimonials. This one, no videos. This is just a straight text approach. Again, you can mix and match. You don't have to just go. They're just showing you what it would be if you did not have video testimonials.
Are you using real names in there like this?
This is all made up. This is all, it will be, once we actually put our stuff in it, it will be real people, but this is just all made up. This is just a concept.
And I'm surprised that you're promoting the different home styles before all of the amenities.
Good point. And we can change that. Everything can be changed. Again, the featured real estate partners on the homepage. Frequently asked questions. This is a slightly different way of doing it. Different type of box for the comments. And then you're at the footer. And that's concept 2. So you can either go with Javier's in your face or my boxy, however you want to view that one. Okay, number 3. This is more your resort style. It's sort of a warmer resort feel. Again, this one is overlaying the menu right on top of whatever your video or photo is. This one is a photo, but you also could put the aerial video here and have that play instead. Yes.
Yeah, I definitely would not leave with golf, just because a lot of
Right.
people don't.
Yeah, Javier and I were both saying that if we did this, we think the aerial video would be smarter to put here so that it's really Rossmore.
And
That's
it's
more-
very catchy,
Yeah, that's more kind of in your face.
more vibrant than
Yes.
static.
Yeah. But again, with this one, you would have the darker feel. So it would be a darker tone than what you got with the other 2. You'll see as we go down, it's not quite as bright as the other ones. that
Most
you've
people
seen.
don't look so happy.
And yeah, this one, if we were to do this, I'll have to see, there is one with a video. I'll see if I can find it to show you what it actually looks like with a video. Was Florida, it has palm trees, so. Photos, pretty high to illustrate sort of the social amenity aspect. Again, they're real keen on these little icons. I'm not as keen on them, but that's just me. If you guys like them, it's all good. And then this would be our welcome video. So
Peaceful,
welcome to Rossmore.
peaceful living. Sounds like Yeah, it sounds
It's
like-
marathon.
the Neptune Society should sponsor that.
And again, the homes, illustrating the homes. And then here's how they do the amenities. Javier and I both like the idea, because amenities is such a big deal, of doing 8 instead of 4. So kind of picture this with 8 instead of 4.
Yes, yes.
And then this is how they decided to do the how to visit Rossmore, more kind of walking through, putting it a little bit higher and making it a little bit more in your face, the whole visit by experience. And then hear from your future neighbors. This is how they did the testimonial part. So even if it's just, there's no video, they still included a photo of each of the residents.
I like that feature.
And then again, this is how they did the real estate partners. So everybody looks the same. And this is a more standardized sort of FAQ.
I do like the idea of doing common questions instead of FAQ. Not
Yeah.
everybody would know.
And then I'm not as keen on this format for doing the box. You can't really see it, but there's shaded little boxes over here on the side. And then the footer. Okay, let me see real quick if I can find. So you can see what number 3 looks like with the with an actual video.
How did you get to that?
Concept,
They could be mobile
she listed.
design too.
I know.
No, so these are just the
Design it.
concepts, so I don't have the full.
Close that.
The percentage on my stuff, people shopping so high on mobile, that's why
Yeah.
I'm wondering.
Everything will be, it's just I can't show you
I see.
what it was because we haven't picked the concept. I was lucky I got the concept in time for
Yeah.
this. So, okay.
Okay.
So let me see if this will pop up. Okay. Again, it's a little choppy because of Zoom, but this is what you would get if you had the video instead of a photo there. So this would be
Our video.
our video, aerial view of Rossmore, rather than having a photo in that spot. But again, it would still, what we would do is probably use the twilight aerial footage that they took so that you get that sort of,
Glow.
yeah, the glow, the warm shot. Okay. So those are the concepts. I'm going to stop share for a moment. And now we have to talk about, of those 3, again, you can mix and match, but of the 3, you kind of need one as your basis. Which of the 3 looks and feels did you like the most? I'll put it back up on the screen. Then we start to mix and match and start to break down what we like and what we don't like and rebuild it. So, concept 1. Do you want me to put it back on the screen so you can see concept 1? Concept 1 again is your fun people. Happy, smiley people.
Yeah, I would just-
I think I like that one the best.
It looks a little clubby to me.
A little clubby, okay?
Well, is it Rossmore kind of clubby?
Yeah,
Not for everybody.
that's why I kind of asked about the actual picture,
Mm-hmm.
because I don't know that I'm crazy about that.
Is it the
actual
picture that you don't like? Or is it the overall feel?
This feels forced to me. It just feels like, everybody smile, everybody lean forward, look happy. It just seems staged to me, this.
Okay,
But I like that, so I'm in agreement with it, just looks a little staged. But I do like the look and feel of it the most. To me, this was more close to what I think about Rossmore. And I think about Rossmore as being pretty open and bright and even, nature.
Mhm.
And the second one wasn't too bad. I did not like the first one. I mean, the third one. The third one to me was kind of depressing. And it was,
so I'll tell
it was a
you,
little bit like,
Okay,
it
I'm
felt a
gonna,
little old.
for the third one, if we did the video, the Rossmore video, if you think about people who live in the Midwest or in somewhere else other than California, to look at that visual, to me, is more compelling than a bunch of people.
So let's not get hung up again on the picture or the video.
Okay.
Let's talk again of, it's the tone and the feel, right? So this again, you're talking bright.
Exactly.
Look again at this.
This is
Look at
concept.
the concept, look at
Which
the
concept is
colors.
this?
This is one.
One thing.
So we're back to what Mike and Kevin and
Okay.
Kathleen like. So you're talking the bright blue, the big videos. You're talking the colored icons. You're talking the large map and large photos in the center. You're talking the blue background with the photos of the houses.
All
You're
right, with
talking
all of that said, I
this
like that.
tiled
Linda?
photo.
And then.
Now, again, if we don't like happy people, remember I talked about mix and match, right? So we could take this photo out. You can still do the aerial photo, but instead of doing twilight, now we go with the aerial photo that's bright sunny day. We took the video, the media team took 3 different videos. They took one in the morning, muted light, but not dark, not the darker one that you saw with number 3. They took bright sunny day, which would go with this. And then they took twilight, which goes with number 3. So they have a video that goes with all 3 of the concepts. It just depends on which concept we took and whether you want a photo to open it or you want a video to open it.
Linda and then Susan.
Okay, I just wanted to get my feedback. I do like this one. I'm not sure about the happy people, maybe touching too much might be, we have a huge audience of people who don't touch as much culturally. So, I mean, you know, I think we can do it. A lot of younger people like the fact that their parents are gonna move here, they're worried about them. And they want to see what kind of people interactivity there's gonna be. The other thing is there's studies on opening a web page to a video and how many people click away, which was it used to be very high. So it might be something to consider.
I would be concerned about that too.
Yeah, a lot of people
Idea
click away.
Of having the people photo, just not this one.
Maybe not so touchy.
I think this whole concept is brighter and it pops more.
You know,
It
and
catches your attention.
there's one other thing that if you try to visualize it in mobile, because we have it's probably gonna be looked at more than 60%, I'm guessing mobile. So
Yes.
this one has a delineation of each page with the information so that if someone sort of gets lost, this one breaks it up fast enough so people go, oh yeah, I did see that on the front page and it was like 3 things down because you can tell the tiles better, I guess. So from my standpoint, just an older audience, it seems to me
Better
that,
user.
yeah, if there's too
Consumer.
much white and text floating around, they get lost and they start trying to click on things. And you don't want them to do that. You want them to learn to go up and down the tile with their finger and then find the info. So, I mean, just from a user standpoint, I'm watching people try to do stuff.
Good,
So
good.
you're saying
Susan?
yes on this one?
Yeah,
I like the first one because it breaks it up.
Opening to a video,
Oh.
but I was concerned about that.
Okay.
Yeah, I haven't looked lately. I mean, people are much more accustomed to video, but in the early days when we looked at studies, it was just a second and then they clicked away because they don't want videos for some reason showing up. Maybe they're in
Yeah, well,
a
there's
setting.
an uncertainty with video, like you said, okay, that this one's, you know, a few seconds, and then this one's 6 minutes.
Yeah.
So.
How long is it?
Yeah, there is, exactly, and it's kind of I view video that's shown to you without question, sort of an interruption. If you have to click on it, then you're choosing to see the video, but otherwise, I think
Yeah,
it should just
That's
be.
what Javier and I were saying, the same thing. We like the concept of click and then you get the welcome to Rossmore video if you want it.
I like live and belong. I like
I
that a
do
lot.
too.
I was surprised I liked it too.
I like it.
I don't like that because it doesn't say what we are.
Yeah.
And a vibrant 55+ community in the Bay Area, I think is better than Northern California. But this doesn't say what we are.
Yeah,
And if somebody's looking at, oh, Walnut Creek live and belong. Oh, this is a club I can join.
I was going to, one of my suggestions was gonna be, we've had working groups throughout. I was going to suggest that we put together a working group at the end of this of 3 people to work on the copywriting for the homepage. Once we've selected the concept, we go back
Can you
and
go to
then,
the other two? Because
Sure.
I think there was one of them that had it.
this is
This
the.
one is better.
Yeah.
and right up in
You don't like
front,
Northern
exactly
California.
what it
right?
is.
You don't like Northern California?
I
You
don't.
could see Bay Area, you could say, but the vibrant 55+ community right at the very beginning, I think is important. You should be able to, because then you know exactly you're right in the right place. And then I actually like the fact, find a real estate agent, because you know this is a buyer's place. I'm okay with that as well. It is no uncertain terms, we want you to buy a house,
Yeah.
we want you to move here.
Right.
Yeah, it's call to action. Every page has to be.
Can the fonts be a little bigger on the header?
We can change the fonts on any and everything, yes.
It's all too small.
Yeah, one of the things that they have not done yet that I've now asked them to go back to do, nothing has been run through ADA. Everything needs to be run through ADA. I'm really very concerned because there's a lot of tails on a lot of these, and tails are a massive no-no with ADA, so some of that is gonna be, it still needs to be worked out.
So you're saying typeface will be.
Typeface needs to, yeah, I'm fairly certain that this font isn't gonna survive.
I hate that video.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
very
So
distracting.
now that you all have said 1, I absolutely despise number 2. On so many, I hate when people inset over photos like that, because it distracts your eye big time.
And those
it's
people look
just
really, really good.
Yeah,
That was
those
very
raised
forced to
hands.
me. It was
Yeah.
very forced.
And I really don't like the way they put the font for the menu over this. They have this 2-bar menu. I don't like that either. But I didn't want to sway anyone, so I didn't want to say up front that I didn't like 2 until you guys had your say first, so.
There's things about 3 in terms of there's some elegance to it, but it's just too dark.
Yeah, that's what Javier and I were saying too. We like the elegant factor, but we didn't like the dark tone. We liked the bigger photos, and I think there might be a way to still kind of incorporate that. Or something else about this one, we didn't like the peaceful living either. That's like that's like, that screams like nursing home.
Yes.
I'm like, that's not us.
Yeah, this one has the first one, if we're gonna be focused on active adult, it's more active.
Yeah.
Whereas this one is more subtle and.
This was one of the things I did like. If you stuck with the first one, I do like that they put the little pictures with the testimonial. I thought that gave it a little bit more of a personal feel.
Definitely.
And I thought that you could do that very easily if we stay with this one here. You could inset that very easily over here in the corner.
I think Linda's point about the tiles being navigationally more friendly, and definitely, I agree. Just flapping back and forth between these 3, those just seem to be
More distinct, that's what it is.
yes,
That's what I thought too.
Which ones?
the blue tiles.
Oh, she's saying the blue backdrops, but the actual distinctive look between the different, I guess, topical areas, since it's one big thing,
Mm-hmm.
you can find it.
Yeah,
So
that's
then-
what
I can find it.
As you
I agree with you on that.
Yeah,
As you
yeah.
shift from one
Yes.
section to another,
Yeah.
it should be visually different. And I think you've got that here.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
do too.
Yeah.
So this was another big one. This is one way to do it, where they've highlighted each topic with the blue bar and then the arrow. This is another way to do it. And then the third would just be to leave it below the photo. Kevin?
I wouldn't highlight dining and social, at least dining.
Don't worry about the copy.
Okay.
Just look at the style. Do you prefer that we put the text below the photo,
No. Move on,
on the actual photo,
like it.
or with the blue bar?
Yeah, that's
Like
the
it.
easiest
Blue bar.
to do.
Easiest to read. Also, if you're talking about kind of mixing and matching these styles to come to one, we really have to be careful because they are three different styles.
They are.
It doesn't look hodgepodgey when we're done.
And trust me, if you guys said, I like that, and it doesn't go with the style, I'll tell you, because they already walked me through what
You
works.
see what-
So the interesting thing about the web developers is Javier and I walked in and we're like, this is our site architecture, and they went, no, it isn't. And we got humbled very quickly because we thought we knew a lot and then quickly realized that this is why you hire marketing experts, because they know way more than we do. So yes, we have quickly learned, you trust the experts, so. Mike, I think you had a very interesting point. You thought that the lifestyle part should go before the homes, correct?
I do.
Okay.
yes.
I think that's a great
I think
idea.
we all agree. Now, lifestyle meaning everything, right?
Meaning this portion here.
Show me,
Right.
Okay.
This section, everything is in sections, right? So you're
Yeah.
talking about moving this section above this section.
correct.
Above the
Okay.
home.
So one thing though, going back to the home page piece, is that we're
Sorry.
looking at this as though the person's going to be looking at it for the first time.
Correct.
And people who are buying are gonna look at it many times, and you don't want them to have to go too far to find the things that are most common. So like for me, the way that I did it, I knew that thought that we were gonna move here for several years before we actually made the move. And I was continuing to look at different things that were happening, different homes that were available and things like that. I would not want to go through the entire thing to find the necessary information. So you guys have knowledge about what's hit most. So it's not a brochure, it's
Yeah.
active. So the one thing
It's-
was like, go to homes or something, if that's more available at the top, where you could like immediately go there, then that's fine. So whatever.
Yeah, so again, I think part of the problem that we have, Rossmore.com with the whole dual personality, right? The homes page was the most popular on Rossmore.com. But that's an artificial kind of thing, because all the money I put into Rossmore.com from the search engine optimization went into that page. I knew that I didn't have to put anything into the for residents because I knew our residents were gonna go there anyway, right? So I think it's hard for us to know right now what the prospective buyers are gonna want.
I think if underneath it, and I don't know if you have the pull downs.
No,
set
so,
up, but if
yes,
the homes allowed you to look at homes things, it's like, okay, I already know that they have amenities, that's great. And
Right.
maybe you're later, somebody goes like, hey, do they have pickleball? And then you can go, oh, I don't know, I'll go look, so those kinds of questions.
yeah,
would be
so I
there.
can kind of answer, because again, the site architecture is what built out the menu at the top. So visit and buy, for example, it talks about how to use tour in Rossmore, how you connect with the real estate agents in order to tour in Rossmore. It talks about what is the buying process if you're buying a co-op versus a condo versus the Waterford, for example. There's a page where you can go to find the CCNRs and the policies for the various mutuals. So it walks through a lot of those under the visit and buy page. If you go to Life at Rossmore, that's where you're going to find your amenities and your services. So everything sort of lands in there. The Visit Rossmore is once you've made the decision, it's time to do that, you're gonna click there. If you've made the decision that it's time, I wanna buy, you're going to the realtors. So all of that lives. Again, Javier and I are like, I don't want to put the realtors this prominently. And then they're like, but you have to remember, even though that's not our core, That's the call to action for this website.
Yeah.
So that's where we had to sort of pull ourselves out and stop thinking of the website as ours, RWC,
No.
and start thinking of it as this is for the prospective buyers. It was a whole shift in the mindset, but they're absolutely right. And once we got out of our own way and started to see it from that perspective, then it made a lot more sense. When you look at sort of the buyer's journey too, it's sort of this linear path, right? Along the way, it's like, okay, it's time to visit and buy. Now you're going this way and you're getting to the realtors and the visit and buy section. If you're not quite ready for that, then you're going to Life at Rossmore and learning more about Rossmore. And now you're going to the visit and buy. So there's different directions that will lead them along that path as well. And along the way, if they decide Rossmore is not for them, then they just get off the path before they get to that call to action. But the idea, and that was part of it too, and I'm, having to also educate the mutual presidents about this as well, because many of them are like, we don't want to tell them the fees. You need to tell them the fees. You have to, that's part of the whole process. Don't let them buy in here because then that's how you get unhappy residents. So all of this has to be much more upfront so that by the time they get to the visit and buy part, they know everything and they're ready. They're actually ready to come in here.
Yep.
So you're right, Kathleen. The question now becomes, and maybe rather than have it be our decision as to should the amenities be up or the homes, maybe this is where we need to go to the realtors and ask them, because they probably have a better idea about what the prospective buyers want to see on the website first.
Although in the one homepage, and I was thinking that's what you were going, Kathleen, you had, go back to the homepage or the top of the page. There was a click to buy, right? Or
Yeah, it's always along the top.
Visit Rossmore, it's the blue one.
The
on
visit
top.
Rossmore's up top, right
And then
there.
Find homes,
Yep.
so you got
Right.
two.
Although I think Kathleen was talking about this one. Again, there's different things on, and this is where we talk about mix and match, right? Find a real estate agent, visit Rossmore.
I see.
And we can, again, that's part of the mix and match, I have it on the list. We can bring those two buttons over so that this, instead of find a home at Rossmore, now becomes both.
Yes,
It becomes the double,
Yes.
find a real estate agent and visit Rossmore.
yeah.
Kathleen, is that more what you were thinking?
Yes and no. I do like this,
I like that too.
but, and I like this header a little bit better. What I was just worried about is making people go through too much stuff to find what they really are looking for, so that it's, if you're looking at something, like I said, if it's the first time and you're very unfamiliar with Rossmore, you're going to want to go through the whole thing or go so close to it. But if you're on your third or fourth time to the website, you're gonna wanna go immediately to whatever it is you want. And I think though, which I think you've solved.
Yeah, that's why
I
that,
think you've solved that with the really obvious.
yeah, the menu becomes that much more important.
Yes, it
At the
does.
top.
Yeah, it's less
To me, the
important
menu
for
is
the first
small and the
visit, but
print
it's
small.
very important. for
Yeah,
the
yeah.
subsequent visits.
And if you remember, I mean, jumping back, but if you remember Laguna Woods, when you click and you pull down, there's a box that has everything that lives in it. That's what we mimic theirs exactly. Everything lives in that
Okay.
box. There's no more pull down flyouts. There's none of that. You pull it down, everything lives in that one box. So they can quickly find everything. And it's, again, Javier and I are like, oh, but that's not what we call it. And it's like, again, remember, in here, you might call it one thing, but out there, they call it something different. So stop thinking like a Rossmore person and start thinking like somebody who's outside the gate.
Potential Rossmore.
Right. So, and again, that helped a lot more once we started to see it from that perspective. Then, again, that's why we hired the experts. So we're earning
Is
they're
that-
earning their money.
Do you have enough guidance at this point?
Yes, this has been really good. Like I said, the one thing that I think would be very beneficial is if we could form a working group for Rossmore.com to help with the copywriting end.
Any volunteers? I I see Amy and Kathleen and Linda.
And
Did Linda raise her hand?
I sort of did, it just
she
depends on.
kind of did. Were you waving?
Are you going to Hawaii again?
Yeah, no, I need to go back.
It will
That's
be,
where
it
she
will
gets her
still,
inspiration though. That's
yeah, it will
okay.
still be a few weeks. We're still a good month away. It won't be before December, and I'll reach out and let you know when we get to there.
Susan?
Just I know I'm supposed to say a question here. I'm questioning the use of 55 and better. That throws me off, that wording, just a comment throws me off.
I think you just had 55 plus in one of the other ones. That's
Yeah.
probably significant. That's probably
Mhm.
enough.
Yeah.
I
And a lot
kind of
of.
liked it, to be honest with you.
I kind of do too.
It's like fine wine.
Seems like the focus is active sports a lot, very much the focus. What about the people who wanna play chess or bridge or go to the library, do puzzles, maybe paint, like more, not, jumping up and down and you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
people have a variety of interests, and I feel like it's so focused on sports. So just, I'm
So,
wondering if you've thought about.
I have,
adding some
and that's
other-
part of what we did last week with the media, having the media team in here. We keyed in on a lot of that with the hobby studios. We had the chess players
But
at
do they
Dollar.
have to search the
So,
clubs before
No,
they
so
see
what we're hoping to do, again, on the homepage, you have those larger photos. It's to key in on a little bit more of that. That's why it was important to me that we had those featured in there so that you understand the diversity of Rossmore a little bit better. So that's gonna be on Javier and I, because we're the ones, once you have the concept, it's gonna be on us now to build out this part. The hardest part is gonna be that photo. This photo right here is going to be the hardest one now for us to have to come up with something that shows happy, smiling people who aren't touching as much as these folks are touching.
And also it looks like Rossmore, it doesn't look like Florida or
Right,
some
well,
other place.
that's not, actually, that part's not as hard, because there's some beautiful backdrops in
Oh,
here.
God, yeah.
Finding a beautiful Rossmore backdrop won't be a problem. It's finding a diverse makeup of people, getting them all to smile just right, and trying to figure out exactly how we have them touch but not touch. That's the part
Have
that,
you been up to the park on entry 15 on
we've
Skycrest?
done that one.
There's a beautiful park up there.
Could we
Yeah.
bring this back?
Yeah.
Janet, I don't mean this.
I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
could we bring this back?
Yes.
What do you need?
So I have it. I've got the working group, so we're good.
Okay.
Rossmore.com is in shape. I appreciate you picking the concept. Thank you very much.
I
All
think
right.
on to the bigger topic, I believe.
Okay. You ready to do my Rossmore?
Yes. Did you learn anything from our experts to use in my Rossmore?
Well, we learned a lot about site architecture, so that's gonna be our big mission today.
I got the old one.
All right, so quick recap, we are in the middle of our focus groups. We've done Activities Council and Rossmore Property Management. Still to come, we are going to this week focus in on community services, public safety and communications, and next week we'll do sports and fitness. What we're doing with the focus groups is asking the residents to talk about what they want in terms of content and design when it comes to My Rossmore. We really want this website to be what they need it to be. Better to know on the front end than on the back end, because I would really like to not have to redesign this thing after we've already launched it. We are still very hopeful that we can get this up and running in January to do site testing. If everything goes well, then we can still have a launch in February. If it doesn't, we still have enough built-in time that we can redo things in February and launch in March. But we really, really, really want to launch first quarter so that we're in line with Ann Latola's team for the Vermont Systems Recreation piece. So that's where we are with that.
Meaning that they're ready to go in first
Yes,
quarter?
they'll be ready to go in March, so we need to, I'd like to still be on time with that. If need be, it's not as big a deal for them because we could still, they can still do what they need to with Vermont systems, but I would really like for my Rossmore to be there. We'll be there. We'll be fine. We'll make it happen, even if we have to work some weekends. Okay, so the last time we were here, everyone talked about not liking the blue overlay. So here's a couple other options. This would be the blue overlay.
Boo.
This would be if we went with a 25% gradient overlay, so my Rossmore still pops a little. And this would be if you have none. So my Rossmore gets a little bit more lost in that.
Yeah,
Do we have a preference?
The second one,
Go with a bit of a gradient? Does anyone object to going with a slight gradient? All right, let's do this. How many people want a 25% gradient? How many want no gradient?
Life is too fuzzy.
Okay.
Nobody's gonna notice.
All right.
I think the difference is how my Rossmore appears.
Yes.
And so if there was a way for my Rossmore to pop more with no gradient, I think that's,
We
well, and
can try.
also, it's more yellow with the background if this is the picture, but
That's
not
very bluish.
the no gradient.
Well, the green-
This is the no overlay.
Yeah, look at that, how yellow everything is.
Yeah, we can work with that too.
Why don't you just change the picture?
Yeah, I'll talk with
There you
Why
Dan.
can't you use my Rossmore
If
on
we-
top of the picture instead of
Yeah, well, you-
on the photo?
You
No.
can't, it's locked in because of the way that it's designed. This is a set feature on every single page, so, but I can sub the photo out, so I'll talk with Dan about finding something with a little more tree.
Less
So we,
busy.
yeah, we get a little more
contrast.
dark background.
Yeah, dark.
Okay, so our homepage, again, the latest news box, that's where our alerts and breaking news will go. And then the resident services, instead of online services, we've changed that name to resident services at your recommendation. So those will be the links to the third-party vendors. We changed, I don't even remember what we were calling it, but it's now gate passes. Everyone okay with golf, recreation and fitness, and gate passes? I know there was some talk about breaking apart recreation and fitness. We can't do that. They have to stay together because of the way that the classes are done. Recreation and fitness classes are in the same function tier for Vermont systems, so I can't break those apart.
Okay, is it all classes? Why
Yes.
don't you just say classes? then?
Well, except it's not. Recreation has event tickets and excursions as well. It's just the way Vermont was set up.
Okay, that's fine.
So Ann, as a resident, I'm interested in those three things, but I'm also interested in property management. I want to know, how do I get a work order done? How do I want to know I have property managers that take care of my property.
I think
And I
there's a-
see nothing on the
I-
homepage about that.
Right, so we're getting to that.
Okay.
Okay, so the next thing we're coming to is today we need to determine what our homepage sections are. So these have been placeholders up till now. We had facilities as one, services was a second, amenities was a third. Now you guys get to decide what are going to be the three sections that we have here. Oh, and then this is a for sure. I'm not changing this. The reason is we get a lot of requests from people saying, how do I get in touch with the board? How do I find my mutual?
Yeah.
This needs to stay. So this is anchored at the bottom of the homepage. We have set up the mutual box, so all the residents need to do is they say, I'm in First Mutual, they put a 1 in the box, it goes to the First Mutual page. So that's a no-go. Okay, so what should go on the homepage? One of the things that I did is I ran a search the past 12 months, not including RWC governance and mutuals, which were the most popular pages on the website. And this was the top 15 in the order in which they were most popular.
When you say homepage, are you saying the first view, or are you saying the first view plus everything that's underneath it?
So when you're on the homepage and the residents are clicking to find something else, to go from the homepage
I mean,
to
what-
somewhere else.
So when you showed it to us,
Yeah, so
all you could see was this. So that's not the homepage
Yeah.
There's more underneath it.
right, so what I'm
Constitutes.
talking about here is our current rossmore.com. When you go to the For Residents tab and you pull it down, there's a whole bunch of stuff in there, right?
You're
So
talking
if
about the
you-
boxes,
Yeah.
right?
Hold on,
In
let
the
me
old
pull out so I can show you.
You're talking about
The
boxes?
Minecraft,
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
Do this.
the Roblox. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so what I'm talking about is this. This is For Residents. So what I did is I went through Google Analytics
I
to
see.
find out
Okay.
when our folks come here, what are they clicking on from here? So that you could get an idea of what they're going to our current website and what they're clicking on.
Got it.
That just gives you an idea of what they're currently using our website for, right?
I thought you were using my Rossmore. Did you ever look at my Rossmore?
Well, my Rossmore is just transactions, right? So that won't tell us much.
Okay,
That won't really help. Okay, so now going back on my presentation, here we go. Okay, so the most popular is clubs and organizations.
So this is an order.
This is an order, golf, alterations and resales, etc. This is the order. This is the top 15. So what I then did is I took all of the web pages and I grouped them by areas: community services, Rossmore Walnut Creek property management, other amenities and services. And then I highlighted them by, again, the most viewed pages. So you could kind of see within those different areas what were the most viewed pages. And I went another step forward and I pulled out sports and fitness so that we didn't have quite as many in community services and programs. And now I have 2 suggested homepage focuses. The first one, because there are so many community services and programs, would give you a set of 6. So instead of just having 3 on the homepage, you would have 6 for community services and programs. It would be clubs and organizations, clubhouses, recreation, dining, transportation, and counseling. Sports and fitness would be golf, fitness center, and pools. Other amenities and services would be security and safety, Rossmore News, Comcast, cable, internet. This would mean Rossmore Property Management would be in the top drop-down menu only. Or focus idea number 2, community services and programs would only get 3. Clubs and organizations, clubhouses, and dining. Sports and fitness gets golf, fitness center, and pools. Rossmore Walnut Creek Property Management gets alterations and resales, handyman, work order and landscaping, and then other amenities and services, security and safety, Rossmore News, Comcast, cable, internet. I strongly advise that you don't do more than 4 rows of tiles. What we don't want to do is bury the mutuals and the Rossmore Walnut Creek governance information. We don't want to bury that. Okay, so these are just suggestions. What I'm gonna do is hand around, these are
So if I want to look at lawn
all
bowling,
of
where
our
do I go?
options. Sports,
I want to see lawn bowling. Where is it?
well, you'll still have a top-down menu where you can find the other sports. Or again, we can blow all of this. At the top, if you remember, you have it right there. I'm gonna,
So if you do it like.
This is this.
Does anybody?
I'm gonna go back
If you do
again
it-
so you can see. up here. Do you see where it says view all amenities? So you would still be able to click view all amenities. So if you have one for sports, you'll click view all sports and it's gonna bring it up so that you'll see the other sports page. One of the things I've talked about this at a couple of previous meetings. We are getting away from the click, 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 click experience, right? So all of the sports are going to live on one page. And it's later in my presentation where I'm going to show you what a sports page looks like. But each sport in alphabetical order lives on one page. So if you want to find lawn bowling, you go to the other sports page and you scroll down to lawn bowling. That's how this is how everything is now going to live.
So no more than 3 clicks to get to anything you want?
Yes, no more than 3 clicks to get to anything you want. And that wasn't easy to do.
It isn't, I know.
This and that.
So these have been placeholders, right, from day one. These are not going to exist. What you're now doing is telling us what are these gonna be.
Oh, I see, okay.
So it won't be facilities, services, and what was the other one? Amenities. It's going to be whatever you decide on this page. What do you want them to be? So again, that's when I gave 2 suggestions, but you guys are more than welcome to come up with your own. That's why I printed it out, so you can throw out my ideas if you like and come up with your own. So suggestion 1 was expand out community services. So instead of having 3 tiles, you would have 6. Or have 4 sets and give Rossmore Property Management one of its own.
I like this one better.
I do too. Yeah. And I think it's important that we highlight property management.
You're also not married to what you see up there. If you want to sub any of those out for something else, you're welcome to sub them out.
In these lists here,
The red ones are the ones that
I
were
understand it,
click
but
plus. Mhm.
these are pretty consistent.
Oh, sorry. Tom.
These are pretty consistent. In other words, there's a short number of
Yes.
them. And we're highlighting. These are like everything. You know,
Mhm.
There's so many different things.
Yes, there is.
So I'm wondering whether or not, so is there a big difference between these? Like clubs and organization had a huge amount. Dining was kind of a light amount. Does my question make sense? It's like.
Yeah, so you're talking,
Because a lot gets lost.
so in
In this
here, when you're looking at this list, once you get to the fitness center, there's a huge drop off. In terms of clubs and organizations is by far the number 1. They get, in a given month, they get about 1,000 clicks, people that come and click. Golf gets about 700. Alterations, I think they were about 670, 660, something in there. Creekside Grill, 650. Once you get to the fitness center, I think they were around 450, and then the library is like 300. So there is a big drop off once you get to the library. And once you're down at counseling, it's like 120 or so per month.
So what's your recommendation based on this research?
Well, again, all I'm doing is showing you what the top 15 are.
So
That if
go
you're
back
not,
to the tiles then that you
Yes.
recommended.
I mean, just do them in the order.
it really just kind of depends. I mean, again, if you want to go with the most clicked on, that would be focus number 1.
Okay, that's what it says.
But focus number 1 ignores the property management end. And that's kind of a big deal. I mean, it's kind of who we are. So that's where focus 2 says, and alterations and resales is a big deal in here. They have a lot of content on the website.
Okay.
I think that right now the work order desk doesn't get quote unquote a lot of love on the website, but I think that's because we haven't really given it a good space on the website. And I think if it has a good space on the website, it will get utilized much more. Yes.
One thing I don't see emphasized on the website, and one reason I moved in here was the event center. Because that means you can have big events, like I went to the Boomers Halloween party, they had 300 people. The big band of Rossmore I'm going to next week, which again has 300 or 400 people. You can have big events. Democratic Club has, big speakers, has 400 people. I think that should be
Is that
emphasized,
for my Rossmore or for Rossmore.com?
whichever. I think both. I think it's one of the reasons I moved in, because you can have big events here. It's not some small, 100-person, it's a big community. And that's
Yeah,
what
so
we're-
the event center will definitely get played up on Rossmore.com. But what you're talking about isn't the building, not for my Rossmore. You're talking about the events.
The events.
Yes, and that's something that we are trying to address more with my Rossmore. It's not gonna be addressed immediately. We want a much better, more robust events calendar.
Oh.
And that's something that Vermont Systems is going to give us. But there's a piece to that we still we're working on to try to factor in, right? Because pickleball and golf and a lot of those, they don't have reservations. So how do you get that folded into that calendar? That's the piece we're working on. So yes, it's coming. I can't tell you exactly when, but it is something we're working on. That's the part you're talking about. That's what this community needs. And we recognize that. And it will have a home on my Rossmore. That's a piece that has been out here for a long time. It's a need that's been out there for a long
I
time.
think for
It's on the list.
people coming in though, to me, this is a big plus.
Mhm.
I think we should emphasize it on.
Oh, it will be. Trust me, it's definitely a big
And not the
piece.
empty building, but actually.
We spent an hour with the media team in there for a reason. It's its own video.
Janet?
Real estate agents, do they give out like our newspaper when they're touring with people? Because it's a great thing that shows how many things are going on and even in 1 week, right? And
So-
I think people have their hands on that, and also know they could get it online.
Linda can
Yeah.
answer.
We have kits, we have folders, and I've always put the latest one in, so whoever goes out from our office and whoever, they deliver it to us by staff.
Yeah, oh, good.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Kathleen?
The challenge that I have with all of this is that you've got now 3 different ways that people can find stuff. So depending on what I'm looking for, I'm either going into those 3 activity tabs, or I'm going to a little, picture that I'm gonna click, or I'm going to the other. And I understand the issue that, why we have to have those, because we're going off sites for those particular ones. So I understand that. It's not ideal, but it's the reality.
Yes.
The challenge that I have with this one is that it is not intuitive as to where I'm supposed to go if I don't see it. I'm concerned that if I were to go to this and I was looking for the library, I don't know where I'm gonna go. I'm looking around and I'm gonna go down and up, and I don't see the library. It might be second, and that little view all amenities. First off, I don't necessarily think that the library is an amenity.
Mhm.
Maybe I do, maybe I don't. But that view all amenities is real small,
Mhm.
and I
Again,
can
don't-
hardly see it.
Please don't get hung up on the font sizes. We are gonna mirror
still.
our fonts to whatever Rossmore.com has.
Still.
There will be the menu structure that lives on Rossmore.com. We will copy the same thing here. There will be a top menu that you'll click, and when it comes down, you will see everything at the top. There will be a top menu. It
So there's
was,
2 ways to do it.
Yeah, there
One
will
will be just like alphabetical order or
Yeah.
some
right,
semblance of that.
some semblance of that will be, the top menu where you'll click, you'll get the big box that will have everything listed, like library, computer center, all of that will be listed out. And then the other approach will be, again, we're kind of mirroring off of what Rossmore.com does. We want these to kind of live in the same family.
Yeah.
So with that in mind, since we're doing a tiled approach there, we're doing a tiled approach here as well.
What if you flip flipped it a little bit.
Okay.
I'm just gonna throw this out and said something like view all amenities, made that like the biggest thing, so that people could go immediately to the list. And then you would have something like, let's say like amenities quick picks or something like that, that would list out, your 3 top.
I don't wanna do lists. Lists has been a
No,
big
I
problem.
don't want to.
Okay.
But view all amenities, and then you would have like your 3 little.
Top ones.
Your
The 3
lofties
tiles.
or the
Okay,
tiles.
tiles.
And they would just be like labeled like, quick picks, golf or something like, or, whatever it would be.
Yeah.
So that the main thing you're getting, it would be going to the amenities page.
Got it.
So that then that's the first thing I see. And then I understand that the other ones are just for my ease if I want those because they're popular.
So I'm really confused. I'm really confused what we're talking about.
So,
So this is, I don't know how this relates to the other slide where you were recommending.
okay,
So help me
so,
out.
yeah.
And then translate it for what Kathleen's talking.
So what Kathleen is saying is where it says amenities now,
Mhm.
we would change that to say, view all amenities. And that becomes, basically click here to view all amenities. Actually, I would actually say that, click here to view all amenities, so that it's very clear. If you click that, it's gonna take you now to the full page with all the amenities. And then
What does that
under-
mean? What does that mean? What? The page.
So amenities is actually not a word we're gonna end up using. You're gonna be using this, right? You're gonna click here for all community services and programs. Click here for all Rossmore Walnut Creek property management. Click
To
here,
go to those.
yeah, to
These
go,
will be tiles.
right,
Okay.
right, to go to that, and then you're gonna get a full page that has all of them on there. That's your next click through. So that's gonna be your second click to get you to the end page. And then what Kathleen is saying is now we're gonna do small photos underneath. And like you saw with Rossmore.com, you're just gonna see one that says golf and one that says clubs and one that says no descriptions. It's just gonna say each one of those, so it's sort of like a breakout. This is the kind of thing we're talking about for underneath this thing. Am I right? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, so
Okay.
that the ones that, the tiles are now, like I said, quick picks. Instead of being.
Click.
So these
main-
categories are the tiles, not the individual.
Yes,
Sports
correct.
Creative Studios, Rossmore Club. Is that what you were saying?
That's what she just said, but I could do that. Okay.
Can I borrow it?
No, I'm as confused.
I would also recommend, in my Rossmore, we don't need a lot of photos, we live here. That photo has the same value as the print.
So again, I hear what you're saying. Now I have to, you have to think the way most people think, right? Too many words is just too much for them.
Not too many, I'm just saying equal value. The photo doesn't have to be equal value, visual value. Because I'm not looking to look
You
at a
have to-
photo, I'm
you
not
have to
searching
balance
for a
them.
photograph, I'm searching for the information.
Yeah, but you have to balance the page.
Yeah, okay, all right, I just.
I mean,
feel
I
like-
can see what Kathleen's saying. I can understand taking the descriptions off and just doing a label with a photo, but
Okay.
you need the photo to balance the page,
Well, maybe it's the
otherwise.
photo and the label and then
Right.
everything else, but this is just too much.
It would be something like
Look.
this. So instead of saying amenities, up there where it has the big type, I just put, community services and programs, or in the next one, it would be RWC property management.
Or maybe 3 different pages or 4 different pages.
Well, this is where I was at, they're not really pages, it's going down the home
On the same,
page.
okay.
On the
And then
homepage.
when you clicked it, then you go to a completely different page
And see the
where
full
you
list.
see everything. But this way, people would know, and I would call it quick picks or something similar to it. And these you'd put then would be the popular ones. So for people who, let's call it 60% of the people who are looking here would probably want one of these. And so, but for the other 40%, which want anything else, they would just click on the big arrow or whatever.
And there would be a search box that might do
Yes.
that too, right?
Yep.
If you want transportation, you could type in
But it's,
bus.
Transportation and go
things
to-
are really,
Yep.
things are close in this one. So if you go down, it's not very far to get to this. It's not like you're going, the other one was much longer. We had to go through all these photos and decorations. Here, the only thing that's there is just to make them a little bit more lively.
Yeah.
And then make them.
And this actually gets us there even faster because we're cutting some stuff out by doing it this way.
Janet.
Yeah.
So that way-
At the presentation at President's Forum, you talked about keyword search.
Yes,
You're gonna do that here, right?
yes, we're gonna do that here.
That can solve a lot of problems.
Yes, it can.
Put it in the library. There you go, you're there.
And it would, yes.
Have keyword search really big.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, that's, again, the whole idea with this is to try to make this as user-friendly as possible. So you think about every possible avenue in which you can get them to this. So every page has built-in the keywords. Again, rather than building a separate page, we'll use lawn bowling as an example. Instead of trying to build in a separate page for lawn bowling, you build a sports page. Everybody knows where to go find it. It's a sports. Go to the sports page, alphabetical order, there's lawn bowling. And that's the idea. This goes back to what Linda said many, many meetings ago. Don't make them click, 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 click. So 3 clicks is the max. And the truth of it is most everything is 2 clicks to get to it. The only reason there's a 3rd click is if there's a document you need to get to. There's rules or policy or whatever, that's your 3rd click. And that's what we're trying to build here, so.
So
I'm
the
suggesting
golf,
that all
Yeah.
of these are,
Yep.
be or duplicated. So this
yeah.
could go sports and fitness. Or other amenities and services, other services or whatever. I think that's not a good name, but
Trying to figure that one out.
I know it's a hard one. It's a list.
It's a catch-all.
Other stuff, whatever. Don't see it? Here, go here. RWC property management.
Mhm.
And you can put them in whatever order that you want.
right,
And
no, I
then
like that.
underneath it, you would have some of these red ones would be quick picks that you could go immediately to the information there. Otherwise, you're going to a secondary page which lists everything.
So then, given that, the tabs for golf, recreation and fitness and gate passes.
That still stays there. Again, that's your transactional. That continues to scroll down the page with it. That's always gonna be your transactional features. And again, we'll drill this home over and over and over again with our residents, what those are, what those means. That's the stuff that will continue to live behind the password protected. What we're talking about building out in the center is just your front-facing information only.
You can't do anything about those tabs because that's where you go to the
But we could
activity.
have more tabs. I'll go, Kevin's example, if I just want to go in and buy tickets for the show,
That's
All right,
under
well-
recreation and fitness.
it doesn't sound like it. Doesn't sound like
I know.
recreation and fitness.
But
We gotta be careful. I just wanna say this, we've got to be careful. If we build out, if I've gotta do golf tee times, event tickets, you build out too many of these tabs, this is going to get very, very complicated for a lot of people. Because again, you can do that. They click on event tickets and go over there, then they think, oh, I gotta go back. Now I wanna do a class. When the reality is you only have to click in there once.
I understand. But what's gonna be on Vermont systems, and that's what we're talking about.
Right.
I mean, gate passes is dwelling live.
Right,
Everything else is Vermont systems. So the primary things there are golf.
Correct.
Fitness center
Events,
and events,
yes.
events and excursions.
Mhm.
so he's suggesting just put one more.
4 tabs.
That's-
Because recreation and fitness doesn't say that to me.
So what do you want them to say?
Golf. Fitness center, events and excursions and gate passes.
Yes.
They go to the same place,
So
right?
where are you putting recreation classes?
I don't know.
But he's just saying add events as a category.
Yeah.
Total events.
You could just say classes. And that's-
So,
that's-
so where do I put personal training?
Fitness center.
Fitness.
Fitness.
This is where, again, it gets complicated.
Oh, and by
And-
the way, room reservations is a part of that too.
And this is where it gets complicated. That's why I'm saying, you guys keep saying, as this system evolves, if room reservations becomes a feature, now it's another tab. I really don't want to do this to our residents. I don't want to do it. I was in favor of just saying resident portal and making everybody click on one tab, and everyone's like, no, let's separate out golf. No, let's separate. I didn't want to separate them out at all. So adding more, I think, is a really bad idea, because the reality of it is, when you're clicking on golf and you're clicking on recreation and fitness, you're going to one place. You're going to Vermont Systems.
I know, but I don't know what's there.
You don't know what's there today,
Today.
but after you use it once or twice, you'll know exactly where it
It
is.
should be so intuitive though. It should be automatic.
But this is
in
one, I
My
think-
Rossmore.
This is one of those areas where it's like, it's not great, but it's as good as it, how can we create as good as it can get? Because it's going to be confusing to people that we have an information portal and we have an activity portal. That's gonna be confusing anyway. And
But
they'll have to put some.
that's what's nice about those tabs though. You know you're going someplace else. You're not gonna go down to the information. You're going someplace to book a
Yes,
tea
and then
time.
and you
buy
can create
tickets.
links within the information, which could also take people there as a secondary path.
Right.
I mean, there is on the golf page, it very clearly says golf tee times. You know, you're clicking, but it's going to Vermont Systems. And once you get in there, that directly takes you to the tee time page. So does this. This golf one takes you directly to, well, not directly, because you've got to enter your password first, and then it takes you to the tee time page. It's just, again, I want to be super careful, because if you start breaking these out, as we add more things to Vermont Systems, you're going to be adding more tabs down the side of the screen. And that becomes what we've done to Rossmore.com. I don't want to do that.
I
I really
understand.
don't.
But what all is gonna be in Vermont Systems? Do we know?
Well, I can tell you what's there now.
Okay.
I'm not gonna tell you what else could come, because every time I do that, no, seriously, every
Yeah.
time, I was telling Deborah about this earlier, I go into a room and I say, this could come eventually, and the next thing I know, I get an email, oh, I heard that we're doing this now. No, we're not doing this now, so I'm done. I'm not telling people what's coming in on the roadmap. It'll be a surprise. There are a lot of things that Vermont Systems can do, but I'm not gonna tell you what it can do. I'm just gonna say there's more that it can
All
do.
right, that's fair.
Enough that we could end up with probably 6 to 8 more tabs, and that's why I don't want to do it. I didn't, like I said, I didn't even want golf to be separated out. I lost that argument.
So what are we deciding today about this portal? I'm a little confused.
Well, I
The
think.
whole look of it, the whole feel of it?
Do we want to keep golf, recreation, and fitness and gate passes? You could decide right here and now to just call it resident portal. You could just make it 2. Yeah, you don't like that idea even better.
That would be.
Where are we, in outer space? This is where we crawl into the portal? No, I don't like
I
that.
don't vote for that because,
Yes.
again, that the whole idea of, it's gonna be confusing between information,
Mhm.
the information site and the online services. That's gonna be confusing enough. So if calling it something generic, then that just muddies the water even more.
Mhm.
So I think you have to have some indication. But also, it's a thing where, okay, if you use it once, you know where to go. And it is, you're
But we
right, it's
want
not
people to use
intuitive. It's not intuitive, but I think we will probably have to have some sort of, there's gonna be training. There probably needs to be like how to use the portal, probably a short video that people can click on when they're
Yeah.
new residents and
Yeah.
things like that. How to find the most common things. There's gonna be some degree of training with it, but.
So
I think most people have to realize that a lot of stuff is going to My Rossmore that was never there before. It's good, we took everything off of a website and sliding it over there. So there's a lot more into it.
The education component of this is big.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about that.
Because a lot, I mean, what's hard for me listening to different people is, I mean, I come out of a technology background. I've sat in many, many things where I know how these things are built. I know how the software, not how the software is written, but you know, how the structure is and what the differences are. But I mean, there's people who are so basic in their understanding of it that just the idea that, oh, is it a different site on my phone? Like I heard somebody was talking to the other day and we were talking about doing something on Zoom and they were going like, well, is that Zoom on my phone or Zoom on my computer? And I was like, oh no, where do we start?
That's
But
where we are.
That's where we are.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
where we are.
what Zoom is.
Yeah, that's true. Well, that, a few years ago, I remember going through that one too, like, what is that?
So when you think about it, Vermont Systems is about booking things. Booking tea times, booking classes, booking room reservation
Events.
requests,
Events,
not reservation,
booking.
booking events. I mean, is there a generic term that says that?
Activities.
I don't know.
But to Ann's point, there's other things that it can do.
Well, we don't know that.
But we don't know what those things are, but it is the services, it is the active services. Whereas everything else is just content.
Right.
Static.
Stuff
yeah.
you read or stuff you look at.
It's a call to action. We should have a call to action there. Book your tickets,
Yeah.
book your event, book
Tea
your
time.
I don't know what it is.
Reservations.
It's not always reservations, but
Gate
it's,
passes is not reservations.
well, gate passes has to be
Well,
separate.
you can
because
use,
that's what
use
it's
the
a
word
separate
get,
software.
get tea times, get reservations, get.
Book your activity,
Or book, I
Book-
don't think it's.
book your,
Right.
I don't know.
Anyway, I think there's
All right,
more work to
let
do.
me cobble together staff to try to figure this one out. For the fourth time.
If we just had, if recreation and fitness were split, do you think that would be good enough?
No, I don't. I almost think you should only have 2 tabs. Book your activity and book your gate passes. I don't know.
Oh, that's what he's recommending.
I'm saying,
Down to 2.
Dan, you want too many tabs.
I wanted 2 tabs. Okay, let me take that one offline and talk to staff. We'll figure something out.
That's a possibility. What about that? Play golf, book activities, gate passes.
Yeah, there's just too much, there's too many, I think that confuses things even more, but let me figure this out.
Okay. We knew you needed a challenge.
Yes.
Did you think it was gonna go smooth?
No,
But we liked what Kathleen.
yes,
Yeah.
yeah, that we can work with. I knew we weren't gonna get through this. I told you, I said, we barely got through this.
Do we have more to look at?
There was a lot more, but that's okay, we can stop here.
I have to go anyway.
Okay, all right.
Question,
Yes,
is RWC, property management, gonna be prominent like you had it in one of those? slides?
Yes, so we're gonna go with the 4.
Oh, the four, okay.
Yes, these 4.
Yeah, I agree.
And I can come up with a new name for other amenities and services.
So, and
Activities.
if there's more to do,
Oh, it's fine. Yeah.
okay,
Get your thesaurus out.
Yeah,
AI.
I have a I know I'm only supposed to say questions. So, as a user, particularly in terms of club,
Okay.
forms
You don't
and
have to think
things,
about
I think recreation and fitness, after one pass on it, I would understand what it was.
Well, good for you.
Yeah.
I admire your intuitiveness, Susan. But is that
Yeah,
Zoom
you're
on my
advanced.
phone or Zoom on my computer?
You're pretty
That's a great
advanced.
example.
I'm just trying to figure out.
All right. What, I had a resident say, are we emphasizing arts enough? The
How
art
so?
world. You know, whether it's a drama, orchestras, I mean, there are a lot of performing arts clubs, activities, and are we stressing that on Rossmore.com? You know,
So Rossmore.com, yes. I mean, that has taken, that's taken a different shift, right? Rossmore.com under the Life at Rossmore, all of that has expanded out.
Okay.
So, performing arts has its own, so the way that we're breaking this down, there's videos for everything, right? The event center, the clubhouse angle has its own, the event center, and what you get at the event center. Hillside, which includes the performing arts studio, right?
Right.
Gateway, all of the hobby studios, which for whatever reason have been overlooked, now it has its own segment as part of the video and the photos. So all of this now gets broken out a lot more.
Right.
The emphasis, because this is what the marketing task force talked about, the emphasis is on the lifestyle / amenities versus the physical structures more.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Okay, great. Thank you.
one of the big videos is A Day in the Life of Rossmore, which will be interesting to see how long that ends up being.
Does it include nap time?
If you took video of Javier and I on the media thing, yes.
Coffee?
Where does get a cup of coffee?
That's a good
When
question.
you're running around. So maybe the meeting,
Stay tuned. All right, our meeting is adjourned.
What's happening with the food and bedroom?